Have you ever stopped to think about the fans behind a band? What is it about the music that keeps fans coming back for more? Or is there more? My name is Renae Lipsmeyer, and I am the host of this podcast, The Space Between Podcast, the podcast where we talk about the fans of the Dave Matthews Band. Each week, a fellow DMB fan joins the show to discuss their journey with the band. Welcome to the Space Between Podcast. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Space Between Podcast, the podcast where we talk about the fans of the Dave Matthews Band. If this is your very first time to listen to this podcast, well, we just simply talk about one band, and that is the Dave Matthews Band. So if the Dave Matthews Band is not for you, this might not be the show for you, but hold on. Listen for a few minutes, or even maybe check out the over 125 testaments of what this band has done for so many people. And so I am on a mission to collect stories of people that have been touched, people that have been changed, people that have been saved by music. And if that sounds crazy to you, well, just keep on listening, because it's not. It's actually happening every single day, and not just by the Dave Matthews Band, but by music in general. It has such healing powers, and it makes things happen in your body, like chemistry, changing things. And so music is changing lives, and that is a fact. And so every episode, I have a fan of the Dave Matthews Band come on my show to tell us their journey, because everyone's journey is completely different. Even if you found this band on the same day that I found this band, your journey is very different than mine. And so again, that's what I'm doing, is collecting. So this week is like every week, I have a fan of the Dave Matthews Band on my show to share his particular journey. I'm so excited about this episode. Greg, thank you so much for being willing and excited to being on this show. So tell everyone, where in the world do you live?
So right now I am in Medford, Massachusetts, which is a suburb of Boston, literally about 5 miles north of the city. So literally just a quick ride away, literally to downtown Boston. And I'm a 50-year-old man. I've been living in Medford. We've been here since. I'm a high school graduate, 1991, and I went to Northeastern University in Boston, and I graduated a College of Criminal Justice, 97.
Wow. So what do you do with a degree in criminal justice? I mean, like, I have no idea. What do you do with that?
No, neither did I. It was the easiest major you can take in college, right?
I don't know if that's right.
So
it sounds hard.
It was easiest subjects, because it's all about common sense, right? Common sense. And I knew
most people don't have that.
I was born with that. So luckily, I got great common sense and street smarts. It kind of got me to where I am today, luckily, because if I didn't, I probably wouldn't be sitting here having that conversation with you. But that's for later in the show. But just to kind of give you a brief background. So I graduated in 97, College of Criminal Justice, and I took a job out in Mojave County, Arizona, called Kingman. Have you ever heard of Kingman, Arizona?
No.
So it's on the corner of like all the way up near the Grand Canyon, Laughlin, Nevada, in Arizona. So it's not in like Phoenix. It's not up in like the Snow Bowl, up in Flagstaff. It's literally in the desert.
Wow.
So what I wanted to do, I wanted to get experience, because I knew if I wanted to get a job in the court system, which I work now, I'm a probation officer, and I've been one since 1999. I'm on almost 26 years. So crazy.
Wow.
Yeah. So my old man is looking at me smiling. He's out of his mind.
What are you doing? Telling somebody your life story? Yes, Dad.
Yeah,
he is, and I'm into it.
The guy's 80 years old. He's looking at me like I got 10
Hey,
heads.
Dad.
Yeah, Joe, I'm on a podcast. My first one. I got my girlfriend here, my father. I mean,
hey guys,
it's fucking
wild.
wild.
It's a family event.
It's a family event. All right, shut that door. We're doing business here.
All right. Dave business.
Dave business. So long story short, I went to Arizona with a buddy of mine, and we lived out there, and I got a job doing pre-sentence investigations, meaning I would write reports for the court. So before they would sentence someone to like a disposition, whether jail, probation, or whatever, they would ask me to interview all the parties involved, the defendant, the lawyers, the people, if they were in school, their job, just to try to get a background of that person.
Yeah.
So we would present that to the court, and they would make a decision on what to do. So I did that for 6 months, but the buddy that I moved out there with, his father died suddenly walking to the
Oh,
store. So
oh
he
my
had to
God.
go back to Medford, and I was kind of stuck out there by myself. And I had a girlfriend back here, and I kind of was at odds. I didn't want to stay out there. I couldn't afford it. It was just more like for experience. So I
Yeah.
got the experience, and I went back and I did landscaping for like a year until the job at the trial court in Massachusetts came up. And I applied, and it was like hitting the lottery because thousands of people would apply for these jobs and only a few got them. So I was blessed and lucky enough to be able to get that
Wow.
position, which I am still at today.
Congratulations. That's
Thank
a
you.
big deal. That's a big accomplishment, but you
Yes,
worked hard to get it. And that's how you
absolutely.
get things. Hard, hard
Exactly.
work and sometimes a lot of luck, right? It all comes together.
Right. So my mother was old school Irish, and she raised me right. And it was always actions, not words. So it wasn't what you said, it was
Mhm.
what you did.
That's right. That's true. Don't you believe? I mean, I believe that. You
Yeah.
can say things
Yeah.
all day long, but
Yeah.
can you do those things?
Yeah.
That's a lot harder. It's a lot harder than saying it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I love Boston. I have never been to Boston. I want to. My husband is a big oh my God, here I go. Is it Red Sox? Is that the team? Oh
Are
my
you
God, is that right?
are you joking?
No, I am not, but he is a big fan. If I hopefully I said it right. And then my son is a huge Patriots fan, and we're in Arkansas. Like, where did that come from? I don't know, but they love the city of Boston.
So I had season tickets for 20 years when Bill Parcells took over the team after they had been horrible for so long. So I was able to enjoy the ride when they went to the Super Bowl in 96, 97 against Green Bay. And then when Belichick took over in the Brady era. And so I'm assuming you know who Tom Brady is, the GOAT.
That is probably the hook, the what got my son into it because he's 19 now, so he remembers those days.
Yeah. He's the
Yeah,
best ever, right? Tom Brady.
I
It wasn't.
mean that the goat, right?
So I'm all Brady because winners win. I mean, Belichick coaching, I get it, but I'm a Brady guy.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, so what did you think about his roast? We'll talk about that for just a second. Did you
Sure.
watch the
Oh,
roast?
absolutely. I thought, and my girlfriend thought, the comedian who's a Dave fan that has her own show.
Oh, yes. What? Oh, I want her job. Like, what is her name?
Come on,
Oh my
remember
God. Blonde
Nikki
hair, beautiful.
Glazer?
Nikki Glacier. I know. I like messaged her one time and I was like, girl, I want your job. I want all of it. Like, I don't want the comedian part, but like, get me on DMB radio. Like, I want your job. You're too busy with your comedy life, girl. Give me Dave Matthews Band radio. But yeah, she nailed that roast. And that is what everyone talked about was like, how she walks out, she's this beautiful chick, but she can lay it down and make every motherfucker like, oh fuck, I didn't know she was gonna come out and say that, right?
The jokes that they gave on Gronk about him being so fucking stupid. He might as well be wearing a helmet out.
Oh my God. Well,
Yeah,
that was great. I
yeah,
loved all of that. Although the only thing I didn't like, and again, we'll just touch on this for a second.
yeah.
I swear to God, it looks like he's had plastic surgery. And like no shame in that, but like his face is chiseled. Like
So
he's looking like a model.
So nobody is going to say this, but Tom Brady definitely had plugs put in. There's no doubt about it. No doubt about it.
Why
There is
not?
no doubt about it because if you look at his early career, his hairline is going back, and then all of a
Mm-hmm.
sudden he's got the long locks. It's flowing. It's
Yeah, yeah,
gorgeous. I mean,
yeah.
Giselle did some good work with him.
I mean, she knows fashion was like her job, and she
Yeah,
was like, dude, you're going to be with me. You're going to look a certain way. So here we go. And he did it. He didn't fight it. But
yeah, yeah. He still looks great though. If I could
he
look
looks,
like Tom Brady, ooh,
he looks nice. I will say that. He looks nice. I don't know, something about like he's got that very Ken Barbie look, like very just like very perfect. And I'm like, I don't know. I would feel very like, oh shit, who's prettier here? Like him, me, like I don't know. It would be a constant battle of like, dude, you're so pretty. I don't even know what to say to you.
yeah, yeah. I get no answers because I never lived on that level, but the things he must have seen and done,
No. No.
wild,
Yeah.
wild.
Wild. Yeah. I mean, but I guess that's what you get when you're the greatest of all times. You get a good life. You get a really good life or,
So here's a
something like
question.
that.
Is Tom Brady a Dave fan?
I don't know the answer to that. I never know what stars are. I mean, like there's a few that stick out only because like tattoos and things, but what do you think?
But I know this. The owner of the Patriots is because he had Dave play his girlfriend's 50th birthday party.
Well,
Did you
shit.
know
Why
that?
weren't we invited? No, come on, Greg. We got to get invited to this shit.
Imagine having a birthday party at 50 and Dave Matthews comes rolling in.
Dude, I would lose my mind.
I mean, fucking
Or
right.
find myself. I would find myself that night and be like, hell yes, I have arrived. I am here. I'm here for this.
Yeah. Mr. Kraft. Bob Kraft's his name. Bob Kraft.
Well, he has great taste. I'm sure we could be good friends. Anybody that is a friend of Dave's, come on over. I want to be your friend too. We could talk Dave all day, every day, right?
Call me.
Call me. Space between. Call me. Be on the podcast. Come on,
right.
coach. Get on, or owner, whatever you are. Come on.
We all got to start somewhere.
That's right. So now, where in the world did you hear about the Dave Matthews Band?
Wow. So I'm going to throw a name out there. My buddy Mike Shea, who I went to high school with, he actually moved down to Florida after high school and he went to Flagler University. So
Flagler University. No, never heard of it.
So he played baseball there. And he was the one that introduced me to Dave in the summer of 95.
95.
95.
Yeah, so early.
Yeah. So I'm probably a junior at Northeastern, 22 years old, and we're in the grunge era, right? We're in Pearl Jam. We're in Nirvana is still going strong, even though Kurt's dead. It's just that genre of that time frame, right?
Yeah.
And when I ever first heard Ants Marching, it was like, wow, what the fuck did I just hear? I was hooked.
Yeah.
Hooked.
From the beginning.
And that was it. Literally, as soon as I heard it, like, this is my band. So I know we don't talk about other bands, but I was a U2 guy.
Oh, no, you got to. And they're still killing it. Yeah.
U2.
Yeah.
So I got a great story about Dave U2 Vegas this past spring. Led to a tattoo I got on my right arm. We'll get to that a little later.
Yes, we will.
Yeah, we will.
So after you find this band and you fall in love with them, like, what is the next steps? Like, do you just start collecting their music? Because you have to remember, like, 95, and for those of you that are listening, technology in 95 was completely different than it is now. It wasn't just as easy as, getting on your computer, because at that time, believe it or not, the internet was not something that you and I had. That was like a government thing still, like very small. Right. So, like, how did you get their music?
The old tapes.
Were you a tape trader? Did you trade?
No, I would take tapes, but I didn't trade them. I just stole them.
There's one way.
So what happened was I went down to Florida and visited him for the Super Bowl 95-96 season to watch the Patriots play Green Bay. And his roommate, who was a huge Dave fan, I forget his name, but he had those like old like recordings that were done at like a show with about 400 or 500 people, and people brought their recorders in.
Heck yeah!
So I got my hands on one of those, and I took it back to Boston, and that thing ended up like shredding in my tape player because I played it so much.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
So the CDs, obviously, right? Under the Table and Dreaming, and then that was the first that I remember, and then the Crash CD, and it just from there. It was like liquid dynamite.
Yeah. Were you listening to anything else like that? Or what do you think that was part of the hook, was there was nothing else like that to you?
So I'm not a Pearl Jam guy. A lot of my buddies are. A lot of my friends are Dave fans. A lot of my friends. Like, we went to shows every summer. Great Woods, original Great Woods, right? Every summer it was like Jimmy Buffett, right? Mm-hmm. Dave Matthews. I seen like so many bands. I've probably been hundreds and hundreds of shows, but every summer it was like Dave Matthews, the tailgating, getting together with friends, drinking beers in the parking lot, smoking a little weed, just having fun. Having fun.
Right.
And it was like, it's like a high, right? We get high off life.
The music, off the life. Yes.
And I've been in love ever since. And it's gotten through me the worst times. And it's gotten through the best.
Yes. Yeah. So let's dig into your journey. Right, let's dig into it. I mean, obviously share what you want, but I mean, I think that your story and just the little pieces that I know about you, I think that you have an opportunity right now on this particular episode to possibly help somebody just with what you've had to go through and how you were able to get through it. And so, that's the way I look at this is music is such a tool for healing. And I know that it has been a big part of some things that you've overcome. So let's dig into that. So tell me where it went. What was next?
So let's kind of run it back. So 97, 98, 99, 2000, 2001, 2002, 2003, 2004. I seen Dave without fail every time he came to Boston, whether it was at Fenway Park, right? Whether he was at Great Woods, the Boston Garden, and I even went to the WBCN River Rave back in December of 95, which was at the Boston Orpheum Theater. It was like 2,500 people. And I think I posted the songs from the set list that night. And like, how many people can actually say I was at the Orpheum and saw Dave Matthews Band? 2,500 people. That's about it. But I bet 100,000 will say they were there.
And we know that's not possible.
Exactly. But by far, it was unbelievable. And it's just that lifestyle. I'm all about having fun and enjoying life. Music. Yeah. I love music. I love sports. Yeah. I love just having a good time. But for me, things kind of went south real quick in 2003, and I got in a car accident. And I got my first prescription to opiates. And what happened to me, it was like instant gratification, instant high. And I got hooked. I got fucking hooked. As you know, we went through an epidemic. We go through an epidemic today. Like, who doesn't know somebody that's suffering from substance abuse or lost someone to an overdose? I mean, it's just fucking insane, right?
It's very common right now.
It's very common, and it's sad. It's very sad. So I got in the accident, and things kind of start to go south, right? When you're high, and all you care about is getting high and getting a fix. You don't care about music anymore. You don't care about having a good time. You don't care about anything. You just care about not being sick. And for me, the cycle of addiction ran 20 straight years. 20 straight years. So here I am by day working as a probation officer, right?
Yes.
And then I'm fucking high doing opiates. Wild, right?
Wow.
And the crazy thing, I was highly functionable, right? Never got in trouble, kept up my cases. Nobody knew at work. I mean, people knew something was up, but they didn't know to the extent of the severity of the situation. And I literally was able to manipulate doctors into giving me methadone so I wouldn't get dope sick. And then I would have my Percocets, and they started with 5s, then to the 15s, to the 30s, to the oxys. I mean, you know how it goes.
Yeah.
But to me, it never got to the point where I went to dope. I was just a straight pill person. To me, now I got a prescription. It's legal. I'm not a drug addict. I can go to the doctors, but it's illegal. They're giving it to me. I got a pain problem. I've been in an accident. So I would justify this.
Right.
And that's how
it is easy to justify. It is easy to justify. But can you, like, thinking back, do you see the way, like, your thought processes were like, okay, I'm feeling okay. I'm feeling like I don't necessarily need anything, but I want it. Like, was that the cycle?
Every day.
Yeah.
I used every day for 20 years. I had an opiate in my body, whether it was methadone, opiates, oxys, perks, fentanyl, you name it. Everything but straight dope. The fentanyl I would do at the end was literally like those pressed pills.
Yeah.
And I was doing like 10 a day.
Wow. And so, I mean, and it's okay to not answer this, but like, were you truly getting all of that through prescriptions? Like, this was straight? Okay.
No,
so at some point,
no. The doctor
at some point there was a shift.
Absolutely. The pills just weren't working anymore. I wasn't getting high, and the doctors weren't going to keep prescribing me more doses, right? They were going to say, this guy's got a problem. So what I would do is never ask for more. I knew I would get what I was going to get. And then I would be able to, as an addict, you manipulate, you lie, you do things that you wouldn't normally do because, number one, you lose morals, right? You lose morals. You lose morals. You don't do things that you would do if you're not under the influence of a narcotic or a drug or an alcohol or something that you're usually not under. But I never did anything that in work that would jeopardize obviously, yes, I would meet people that I knew to get pills from, so forth, but I wasn't dealing drugs. I wasn't selling drugs. I wasn't buying them off the street at the corner. I
Right.
had a legit thing that, I would
Right.
get them. But then when I didn't get them, there's that roller coaster, highs and lows,
Mhm.
highs and lows. And
Yeah.
that literally brought me to my knees. Literally.
Yes.
I mean, I
Yes.
lost friendships, I lost relationships, I lost time, never got married, never had any children because I never wanted to get involved with a codependent addict. I wasn't going to have a
Mhm.
child with another drug addict. So I was too good to be with another drug in my mind, right? I'm too good. I'm
Mhm.
not a junkie. I'm too good for that person. But then the normal girls that, they have a job, that they're doing well. I got no money. I spend all my money on drugs and sports gambling, and now I'm going to take a girl on a date. So I literally isolated into depression, and all I did was
Mm.
fuel my addiction by just doing pills.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. So at what point do you, and I almost feel like I need to take like a brief pause here because if you've listened to this podcast before, you know that as a profession, I am a nurse. That is what I do as a profession. So I want to put out like a statement in saying that I believe I've done, years and years and years worth of study after study after study. There is a need for these drugs. They are not the bad thing that everyone makes them out to be like, oh, these are the devil. You should never take them. There is a time and a place where these things are very necessary and very, very helpful. However, there is there is a window there to abuse that, and that moment is when things go south. And so, if you're listening to this and you've got this idea in your head that narcotics are bad and there is no good, and that is not the
Right.
case. That is not the case. And so I always like to emphasize that they are very they're amazing drugs that help so many people. However, so many people do have problems after they are prescribed these medications.
That's a great way to put it. I mean, absolutely, right? I mean,
Yeah.
obviously, my mother who had cancer, right? They had to give her morphine pills to keep her comfort,
Yes.
right?
And thank God for that. Thank
Absolutely.
God for that. Yes.
Absolutely. And there's
Yes.
drugs out there like methadone that you give recovering drug addicts. You give people with
Yes.
problems to try to keep them off other drugs, right?
Yes,
So
exactly.
my thing is preaching is you got to stay away from those fake pills, right? Those fake pills that
Hmm.
kids are getting at a party. They take one, they're not waking up.
No, because everybody's lacing shit with fentanyl.
Right. Exactly.
Fentanyl will
Right.
kill you. It
Right.
is not made for me and you. It is made for people on their deathbeds.
Right.
On
I
their
mean,
deathbeds.
I literally was crushing those things and sniffing them like it
Oof.
was candy. And I never
Wow.
overdosed. And I never overdosed. And I couldn't figure out why. Like, and I know
You
why
had built
now.
up a tolerance. You had built up a tolerance.
Not even that. If you got one bad pill, it didn't matter because they're fake. All it
That's
is
true.
straight fentanyl.
That's
That's what
true.
happened. People die because they get one bad pill, and that one bad pill, that's all it takes.
That's all it takes. And it's such a scary world these days. And we hear that, that like even marijuana
Go
now,
to the
if you get it in
dispensary.
the wrong place, yeah,
Right.
you've got to buy your stuff in legit places because people are lacing even weed with fentanyl.
Crazy.
Why?
Crazy.
I don't know, but because there's evil. There's evil in this world, but
Yeah.
it is everywhere. It's on the news all the time.
Yeah.
So like you're crushing fentanyl. You've gotten to a place where you're probably satisfied. You're happy with what's going on. How does it shift to where you go? 20 years later, I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore. Like,
Yeah.
how do you get to that place?
So, I mean, that story, I just call it a moment that I was saved by angels.
Yeah.
Because God, my higher power, which is God, I'm raised Catholic, so I
Yes.
call my
Yes.
higher power God.
Yes.
Literally out of nowhere, I was kind of getting sloppy. You doing the things that I was doing, getting the pills the way I was getting them. I just was getting to the point where it was getting out of control, right? Work was
Hmm.
suffering. Everything was suffering. Everybody was starting to see it now, except for me. So, there was a left that I went instead of a right. And by doing that, put the wheels into motion that got me into treatment and rehab at the first time at 49.
Wow. Take us through that. Like, who did you initiate that thought process? Like, were you like, you know what, I need to seek some help? Or did someone come to you and go, hey, here's a facility. I think that you could, benefit from this. Like,
Yep.
walk us through that.
So what happened was, I can't really get into the specifics on how it happened, but I can tell you this. I got a second chance. I got someone to tell me that I just needed a push because I was worth saving. So what happened was, I had a decision to make. And what they say, it's called a spiritual awakening, right? That something happens to you, an out of body experience, that something happens to you that you just know it's time, right? You know it's time. So that happened to me finally after 20 years, which saved my life because, like I said, the stuff I was doing, it was going to kill me, at some point.
Eventually.
Yeah, absolutely. No doubt about it. That's an afterthought. So what happened to me was, obviously working for the trial court, I get great insurance, right? Everybody who has a good job, obviously use your job and your insurance. If you're having substance abuse, if you're having mental health, call that 800 number. Ask for help. It's there. People will help you.
Yes.
So that's what I did. I called my 800 number, and they sent me to a place called Liberty Bay in Maine. And this place saved my life as well.
Wow. So I can't even imagine. I'm trying to put myself in your shoes, and I'm thinking, okay, because I've worked in psych units where drug recovery, addiction was one of the reasons why they were in, the psych facility that I worked in. And so I have worked beside so many people that are struggling with this. But there had to have been some fear going into this, like, because you knew it was going to be hard work, right? Or were you just relaxed?
No, I was never more on it. Like, soon as I went in, right, I had a conversation with a friend who went into treatment prior, and he told me to trust the process. And I don't know if you've heard that before. So that was me having to be humble. That was me having to allow other people to help me. And I've never asked for help. So now I had actual people that were, their job was to help someone. I thought, like the movies, you see Train Spotting. You ever see Train Spotting?
I don't think so.
Okay, so it's a movie.
You're giving me so much homework.
No, I apologize. Anyways.
No, I love it.
People know Train Spotting. It's a movie about drug addicts and being dope sick and this, that, and the other thing. Ewan McGregor's in it. He's a British actor. Great movie. But anyways, so when I went into rehab, I was coming off 30 milligrams of methadone and the fentanyl. So I went in cold turkey, sick. I thought they were going to throw me in the room with a bucket and said, we'll see you in 2 weeks. Yeah. Because I had never gone into treatment before. But that wasn't the case. I went into a facility. It had a kitchen. It had rooms. It had doctors. It had people to help you. I felt like I was back in school again. I'm not going to lie. Like, it was like I went in for 28-day stay my first time. And I handed over my phone, and I was like, what a relief. Like, I had to tell my boss what had happened, and I was going away, because, I had to go out of work, right? I had to take a leave.
Right.
So it was such the monkey off my back. And once I did that, it was just the wind, everything just, I could breathe again.
Yeah.
I could breathe again. And for me, that right there is all I needed, because everybody knew I was going to get help. And I've always been the person, if you give me one chance to do something, I'm not going to fail. Yeah. So they gave me a chance. And to say to this day, it was like a vacation. I'm not going to lie. I never got sick. I was on methadone. I was on everything. And they wanted to put me on Suboxone. I went up to the window every morning when they were checking my blood pressure and all my vitals. Fuck you. I'm not taking anything else. Wow. And they would just laugh. They would laugh. And it was the best experience of my life, because it got me grounded again. It brought me back to who I was as a person. Yeah. And I left that 28-day program, and I went to Sober House for 2 months.
Sober Living House. Yes.
Yeah. Even though I own a home, I was also now living in a sober home with people that are on probation, probation. So it's wild, right? It's come full circle.
Yes.
So I ended up going back to work after 2 months. I could have stayed out probably forever. I probably could be out on disability. You know what I mean? Because all the trauma and everything I've been through. Like, my brain is constant, right? It's going 100 miles an hour at all times, because if you're in recovery and if you have an addiction to something, that's how it is. But luckily for me, I haven't had one craving. I never once have thought to get high. Never once wanted to relapse. Like, we could talk literally for 5, 6. I mean, my story is fucking wild. But
Greg, you have to know that you are a rare case. Do you know that?
so I have a doctor, I have my boss, I have all my friends, a girlfriend who I never like. I was a complete opiate addict. I couldn't like
Yeah.
I could survive, right? But I
Right.
couldn't like I wasn't successful. I
Right.
wasn't good. I was doing everything I could just to survive. But
Hmm.
since treatment, my life has done a complete 180. Like I'm in recovery. I do meetings. I'm on a committee that someone heard. I did a podcast. I don't again, you're an Sirius XM person. Dave Matthews has his own channel. U2 has their own channel. I don't know if you follow it or not, but when I got out of rehab, my goal in rehab, so what happened was you don't get your phone, right? So you
Right.
don't have access to TV, but there's a little gym in Liberty Bay on the first floor. And every night when I was lying there and I couldn't sleep, I would run down past the security and the night nurse down to the bike at like 3:34 in the morning, and I'd be riding the bike and I would put on the Vizio and I would go to
Hmm.
YouTube and I would listen to the Vivo, Dave Matthews at in New York. Remember '03 when they did the show outside at the park, the big park.
Yeah. Yeah. Central Park. Yeah.
So I would watch
Yeah.
that. And I went to U2 Elevation in '01 at Boston. And my favorite song was Walk On. I don't know if you know it, but Walk
I
On.
don't.
Walk On live from Boston. So when I got out, you heard about U2 and the Sphere and everything else.
Oh,
Remember they opened the
yes. Yes.
Sphere?
Yes. They
So my
did.
goal was, now that I'm sober and I can afford, I want to go to Vegas to see U2. So what happened was when I got out of treatment, I wrote U2 stories on Sirius XM. And Tasula Kokoris has her own show. She works for U2 on Sirius XM channel 32, U2X Radio, and they wrote me back and I was on her show.
Oh
So my
my God.
story that we're talking about now, about addiction, about Walk On, about music. Obviously, I didn't get into Dave Matthews, but I mean, we talked about
Yeah.
just music and just how
Yeah.
it can get you through. And that song and Dave and everything, it just brought me back to a place when I was younger. And I did the right thing and I had fun because that's who I was.
Yeah.
And that brought me
Yeah.
back.
Yes.
And since that day, like I got out of rehab, everything back to where everything's going great. Like everything comes back so good and so much more if you do the right thing. And that's how it's been for me. So I was never a social media person. I hate Facebook. I fucking hate Facebook because I had nothing to post. Right?
I can understand that. Yes.
So now I'm on it all the time. I'm on you. That's how I found you.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
how I know about.
Facebook's a beautiful thing.
So like now my whole life is just completely different. And it's like, I'm just like a happy person again. And I owe that all to music. I owe that to Dave. I owe that to Bon. I owe that to you too. And just like in this quick story, like I had told you, so I booked a trip with my girlfriend to go to the Sphere in Vegas. And this was March 2nd and 3rd of this past year. And we're getting off the plane and we're in the Uber. And as we're driving down into Vegas, I see a billboard, Dave Matthews Band live Friday night, March 2nd, at the MSG, the small place that they play, 4,500.
Oh, the MGM. MGM. Yeah.
So I'm like,
Yes.
you got to be fucking kidding me. You're telling me I'm seeing Dave Matthews on Friday night and U2 on Saturday night? If that isn't a message from above, I don't know what
Right?
is.
Meant to be.
Meant to be. Meant to be. So listen, now my girlfriend's all worried. We don't have tickets. Don't worry about it. Ticketmaster. We ended up with VIP seats.
What?
Yes. Last minute. I will send you pictures. VIP. We had our own waitress. We're sitting next to people with the things around their neck saying VIP. I'm like, I want one of those. The guy.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah. So we had a special entrance and everything. And it's like,
holy shit.
yeah. And then again, U2, we had no tickets. We showed up and got in line like the old days.
Yeah.
Face value, $150.
Was it worth it? Did you love it?
It was the last show of the Sphere, show 40.
Oh my God. Even
Yes.
better. Because they like gave everybody everything on that last show,
Tickets were going for $2,500 a pop.
And you walked in for
$150.
I mean, yes, God was like, okay, you know what? You have done well, my child. And here you go. Here's Dave Matthews Band and you two together. Here you go. Thank you. Thank you for all your hard work.
Now, who else can also say they did those concerts back to back?
I don't know.
Right? That's
I
an
don't know.
amazing. If you would like, I don't know
Yes.
who your other bands are, but if you had the chance back to back to see your two favorite bands, wow,
Yes, yes, I
wow,
would. I want it, and it's funny because I was in Vegas, and I think we talked about this. Like, we would have loved to have met in Vegas. I was
yes.
there with my husband, and because we were there, and because we knew that U2 was also doing their last show the day after Dave Matthews, we definitely wanted to get tickets. But we did not think that we could just walk up and get face value tickets at the Sphere,
That's the
especially.
city. That's the city
Yeah,
in me. Yeah.
yeah, that's so great.
So I commemorated that trip with a tattoo on my right wrist. You probably can't see it, but it says
No, we
Dave
can.
DMB, the ace up my sleeve, like in Vegas. You too, Las Vegas, right here.
Dude, that's perfect.
Right?
It's perfect.
Right.
That's so perfect. I
Right.
mean, you couldn't have written a better story as far as like just a kind of a pot of gold at the end, like let's just get to this and there you go. There's your pot of gold.
This is just the beginning.
Absolutely is. I mean, because you have a lot of life to live,
Yes.
and there are great things. There are great things always on the horizon.
Yeah.
So what are some goals now that you're in a good space? There's no turning back. Like, what are some goals that have come out of all of this that you probably would have never thought about otherwise?
So you're not going to believe this, and I know it sounds crazy, and I don't know, but a lot of people, the way I talk now, they think I kind of talk cocky, but I'm not cocky. I'm just confident in my abilities.
Confident, yes, and
Confident
there's
in
a
my
difference.
absolutely. So
Yes.
no, listen, I finally overcame my Michael Myers. You know Michael Myers, Halloween,
I do
right?
know that one. I do know that one.
So I finally got my boogeyman. My boogeyman was opiates. I
Mhm.
finally got my boogeyman, and now I'm just making up for it. I think I've seen Dave Matthews 6 times since March. I mean, last year I went to Mohegan in November. We went to MSG, no tickets, by the way. Went
Of
to
course
Madison.
not.
Yep, yep. We ended up getting Madison Square Garden, and then I got my first pit experience in Mansfield this year.
Wow.
I sat right in front of Buddy when he had his Jason Tatum Boston Celtics jersey on.
Yes, yes.
I mean, listen, it's amazing, right? Amazing. What are the odds that I sign up for the warehouse and the very first concert I put in for, I get the pit?
I mean, things do happen for a reason. I'm a
Yeah,
firm believer in that.
yeah,
It's not just a lottery system. I believe
yeah,
things happen for a reason.
yeah. So I did SPAC, the second show, right, in
Yeah, yeah,
Saratoga,
yeah.
right? I did Mansfield, the old Great Woods, and then we went to New Hampshire night two. They did New Hampshire at the Guilford. It's an outside
Yes,
amphitheater.
Guilford. Yes.
So I did that, and it's like amazing. Like I had so much. I felt like it was that summer out of college again. And I'm dragging
Mhm.
my girlfriend with me. Right? She never had seen Dave Matthews before. Now she loves it. She goes to all
Oh,
the
well,
shows.
good.
She loves
Good.
it. Yeah, and we're going to Mohegan second show. The second show in November, and then we're driving to Madison Square Garden, going to Madison Square Garden.
Oh, I'm so excited for you guys. I mean, East Coast is really always such the luckiest side of the country when it comes to the Dave Matthews Band. I mean, because of course, they originated there, they started there. So, they're always going to have a large fan base on that side. And
Yeah,
so when fall schedule came out, and of course, us in the middle of the country saw what what was happening. We were like, man,
yeah,
New
yeah,
York again. Like, we love it, but like it is expensive to get to New York when you're not where you are, right?
yeah.
Like, for us to get to New York in November near Thanksgiving, it's like, dude, I'm gonna have to give up Christmas to go see Dave Matthews Band. No, I
Yeah,
can't do that.
yeah, crazy, right? So
Yes.
lucky for me now, I can afford to do these trips, right? I got a good
Yes.
job. I got no
Yes.
children. You know
There
what I
you
mean?
go. Yeah, no,
So
life's different.
my goal, I'm on a 2-year plan right now. I'm going to be done in 2 years. I'm going to be down in Marco Island, Florida, where we got a condo. I'm going to be, and again, this might sound crazy, but right
No.
now we're trying to write a movie about my life. And
Oh, shoot, I love it.
I went to high school with a kid who's already done 2 movies. The first one called Fat. His name's Mark Finney. I went to the Toronto Film Festival, and he also
Uh-huh.
did a called Fear of Flying, which is currently getting shopped around now. So he's going to do another independent film. And I'm a Boston guy, and I got the stories about the drugs, the gambling, the mob. I mean, stuff that I grew up with around here. And you
Yes.
have one person in mind to play my part. And I know this sounds kind of crazy, but Casey Affleck, we're coming for you, bro. We're coming
Hey,
for you.
I hope it happens, dude. I hope it happens. And you know
Yeah.
what? Just stay confident.
Yeah.
Stay, all things good come from confidence. I really do. And there is, I'm glad that you said that because I felt like I was the only person in life saying this. There is a difference between cockiness and confidence. And
Absolutely.
oftentimes people don't want to recognize confidence. They want to automatically assume, well, they're an asshole full of themselves. No, I've been through some shit and I know what I'm doing now. And I am confident in my choices. And I think that is such a beautiful place to be in life when you're confident and you know what you're doing. Like there's some comfortability in that. And it feels really, really good. But people do not like people that are sure of themselves.
Yeah.
They don't like it.
It's just the way I look at it. I suffered 20 years of my life for a reason, right?
You did. Yeah.
I need to tell my story because I think it's going to help somebody, right?
It is. It is.
Yeah.
It is going to. And it
And
probably already has.
Yeah. And like I said, I'm involved in my speakings at meetings and programs and doing everything the right way for the first time in my life. And I'm just being rewarded for all those good things.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Well, I'm a woman of faith, but I also believe in things like karma. Things like if you put out into the world good, guess what? It comes back to you. Maybe not in your timing, but it does come back to you. And that is the season of life you are in right now. You suffered. You were, you went through it for a very long time. And now is your time to shine. And I'm so glad that you are getting this opportunity because think about how many people went down that same road as you did and never got this chance to shine because it took them down or they kept going down that road or they didn't have a good support system. There were so many things in your life that put you right where you are now. And so I'm so thankful.
I'll throw in one other thing. I have a brother, Chris, that passed away in 2015 from a drug overdose.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, my God. I'm so sorry. Your family, I know that they are, they have been through the mud, but I know that also has put them in a place where they have probably sought out education of like, how can we prevent this? How can we continue to help people? Because it's hit home a couple of times for them.
Yeah.
And so I know that they're really probably watching everyone around them now and trying to prevent that from happening again. And oftentimes that's when people really start to educate themselves or look into what can I do is because they've been affected by something like that. We always talk about people that are affected by cancer or all of the terrible things that are out in the world. But whatever it is, people tend to really educate themselves about whatever they've gone through because there will always be opportunities for you for the rest of your life to help someone out. And I hope that it sounds like you know that, and it sounds like that you're embracing that and that you're just welcoming that into your life, like whatever I can do to help people. And honestly, like that's what people need. People that are going down that same road that you went down. People in the future that have not even started down that path yet, but they will be looking for someone just like you because it is so much easier. And it is a lot easier to take advice from someone that's walked in your shoes before. It's very hard to talk to someone that cannot understand what you're saying.
And again, it can happen to anyone. I'm a professional.
It can.
I'm not a homeless junkie on the street, right?
No.
I'm a professional drug addict going to work. I was holding court with judges and junkies.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's crazy. Crazy.
This is not something that just happens to a certain kind of person. This is something that is worldwide. Money does not play into this. Anyone can get their hands on these things. They're prescribed fairly easily. And again, there's nothing wrong with these drugs. But it opens up opportunity for people to do things that they should not do with them. And so so let's talk about music and how it's kind of helped you through this. Obviously, we spent some time on you too, and I know that people that are listening to that, there's a lot of people that love you too, that love the Dave Matthews Band.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's all the '90s, and
Yeah.
YouTube is still killing it, of course, still,
Yeah.
and so is the Dave Matthews Band. So,
Yeah.
what was it, and what does it continue to be about the Dave Matthews Band that gives your heart like all the feelings that you need?
Love.
Yeah,
Love.
yeah,
Happiness. Enjoyment.
yeah.
I mean, all positives, right?
All positives.
Like,
Yeah,
like I just said, just by me, I'm going. Dave, I'll go anywhere. If I can go see Dave anywhere, I'm going.
yeah. Me
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
I
And
just need
that
a
feeling,
ticket and a credit card, and let's
and I know you
go.
feel the same, and I probably know a lot of your fans. I mean, you go to a concert with a girl to Dave Matthews. I think things are going to end pretty well that night, don't you?
I mean, I don't know
I'm
the
just
answer to
saying.
that, but
I'm
maybe.
just saying.
Maybe. All good things happen at Dave Matthews Band concerts. I haven't seen a lot of sad people at a Dave Matthews Band concert.
Never, never.
Not once have I seen that. Are there any, let's talk about the community, because that of course is really what this podcast is about,
Right.
is not just the music. We all know that we love the music. That's what has brought us together, and the community that's formed because of the music. You've talked, you have so many friends that love this band, and that is your community. And I'm sure that your community has spread as you've traveled all over the country seeing this band. So what does this community, what have they been able to do for you, as you were on your journey, and even now as you're still on your journey, just in a journey through health and wellness and finding your purpose?
It's just being welcoming, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's just so fun and everybody's in a good mood, no matter how bad things might be at home or things at work or things. You go to a Dave Matthews concert for that 3 or 4 hours between the parking lot, between the concert, between the experiences. Like, those are the things that get us through, right? Positive
Yes.
experiences.
Yes.
Like, stuff like that is the reason we live. We want to enjoy life. And for
We do.
me, the beach,
Mm-hmm.
traveling, seeing the world, Dave Matthews, YouTube, good music, good sports. Those are
Yeah.
life highs. I get high on life now, and those are all
Yes.
life highs.
Yes, it's totally possible to get high on life. And if that's a
Yeah,
phrase that you're like, why do they keep saying that? Dude,
yeah,
it's totally possible. You can
yeah,
be high without substances. You can be high on just the good feelings because it feels good to feel good, right? Like, it's a chaser. You want that feeling. You want it. We want it all of the time because it feels so good to feel good.
yeah,
But it is, for everybody, it is not something that is achievable
right,
easily, right?
right,
It's not
right.
easy for everyone,
Hmm.
but I do see and I hear over and over, just because of this podcast, that music,
Yeah,
whatever your genre is,
yeah,
whatever your flavor is,
yeah,
it has the ability to do something for you to bring you closer to happiness, and closer to unlocking your mind and finding things about yourself that you didn't even know, or
yeah,
to think differently than
yeah,
you've always thought.
yeah,
And I know
yeah,
that with the music of the Dave Matthews Band,
yeah,
the dudes that have written this music, Dave, of course, is a lot of who writes the songs, but of course, then he'll have different members of the band that have added
yeah.
lyrics and or worked closely. But these dudes have been able to nail lyrics that will pierce your heart. They will
But
just. I stand amazed as I go through these lyrics, even songs that are from the '90s. They just have carried through time and
yeah,
stood in they've always been relevant. They've always
yeah.
been
Oh,
relevant. How in the
that's
hell
why.
are these
That's
guys
why.
doing it?
Yeah, that's why they're going in the Hall of Fame.
Hell yeah, they are.
Hell
October. I
yeah,
can't wait to.
absolutely.
Hell yeah, they are. I mean, a band that has changed lives and done good. And I think their mission really is to do good. I really believe that about them. I believe that that is, their mission is to spread love, just like our community preaches about, that our responsibility as humans
Yeah.
is to just show love, show love, show love,
Yeah.
because that's what we need so much
Yeah.
in a world of hate.
Yeah.
And I believe that this band continues to do that. And so how could it not, open up your heart? We're just so lucky to be alive at the same time as the Dave Matthews
Right.
Band has been on the planet.
Right.
And I hope that we have many, many years ahead of us. However, we are getting into times like they are getting inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame this October 2024. And that's not something you get inducted to without some time done, right? Like
Right.
they've served
Right.
some time, they've helped some people, they've changed some lives. They've changed so much. I mean, I think about like the babies that they were when they started in their little flannel pajamas, hanging out in the back of a van, with their equipment in a little, thing behind them, and they were setting it up. I mean, like this band has literally gone through it all and has come out on top every single time. And their fans have never stopped chasing them because we see the good that they do. They have a contagious spirit, even, as we've evolved through new members in the band. I mean, they've always just had they've always just had it together. And so, what an amazing band. What an amazing band. And I'm sure that people that have this same story, right? Like you're aware that other people are being touched by this music.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's just the music speaks for itself, right? No one needs to promote it. You just need to hear it.
That's right. Just listen to it.
So,
just listen to it.
with me, like when I'm in my car, Sirius XM, Dave Matthews is on all the time. Channel 30, without question. Yeah. When I'm at the gym, I'm on my headphones. Dave Matthews on without question. When I'm on for a walk, Dave Matthews on without question. Like, hey Siri, put on Dave Matthews Band, Sirius XM radio.
Oh yeah, right now. We need it. Right now in our lives. Right now.
Right now. Right now.
Let's see what she plays. What is she going to play? Let's see. Is she going to do it?
Shut, so I don't know.
Oh,
Alexa, hold on. Alexa, put on Dave Matthews Band radio, Sirius XM. Alexa, Dave Matthews Band, Sirius XM.
Oh, steady as we go.
We got steady as we go.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay. So this song like continues to evolve in the way that of things I think of when I hear it. Most recently, I had a guest on my show, Thomas, who shared his journey through losing his wife and the grief, the processes of grief, the stages of grief, and this is their song. And so, shout out Thomas. I feel like every time I hear that song now, I think about you and your wife and your love story and what Dave has done for them. And it's just, it's like the more I get to know this community, when I hear songs, it is personal. Of course, it's very personal, but it has become so much more than just for me. It is. I hear the song and I think of so many people and what it's done for them. And so it couldn't have been a better song. We love Steady As We Go. I don't think he doesn't sing it enough, right? He doesn't sing it enough.
So for me, Dave it's a way of life. Like, it's in my life 24/7, whether I'm at work, listen to it. Like, it's always on.
Yeah.
So if it's on, I know things are good.
That's right.
Things are good.
That's right. And is there a song that you are, and I know this changes like from minute to minute, sometimes hour to hour, but is there a song that you're gravitating towards right now?
So I think, what happened, I'm always on Dave live tracks, right? Because some of those shows I actually been at, right? Fenway Park, so from Mansfield. So I love listening to shows that I was at. Because I remember, right? It brings me back. Yeah. I remember being there. I remember the song. I remember Dave doing his little jig. I mean, I remember a young Dave still doing his foot moves and dancing with the guitar. And I know he's getting a little older, but he can still fucking rock it.
Hell yeah, he can. Don't stop. Yeah. Don't stop.
Yeah. And so, of course, I'm going to say Ants Marching, right? Because for me and my boys, when that song came on, our shirts came off and we were waving them in the crowd, and it was like it was wild, wild. But my song of the summer, I would say I wanted to hear it, but I didn't. Is I wanted to hear "Breathe" by Pearl Jam in
Mm,
opener
yeah.
in the encore, but I didn't hear that, and I'm hoping I will. But for some reason, because of my story, "Lie in Our Graves,"
Yes. It's the perfect song.
right,
It's the perfect song.
right,
Yeah. 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 It is such a good, clear message in that song. Such a
right,
clear message. I
right.
mean, it's a fun song to listen to. It's got a great upbeat, but like if you really dig into this song and you look at what they're saying, nailed it. They nailed it.
Yeah, every version, because there's so many,
Yes.
right? There's so many.
Yes. Yes.
I love it. I love it.
I do
And
too.
then I also, when I do is think back is back in the early 2000s, the Stone live,
Mm, yeah.
amazing,
So good
amazing,
every time. Every time.
amazing. I
It's
mean, there's not one song that I would say turn off the radio, change the channel. I listen to every song, top to bottom, no matter what. It does not change, all day
yeah.
long, all day.
I feel the same way. And you hear so many people like, and it's okay to have those songs that you dislike. That's okay. I'm not saying it's not, but there are so many of us that are like, I'm going to listen to it no matter what. But then
Yeah,
also it's fun because I've definitely had those songs that I would have maybe put at the bottom of my top
yeah,
10, if you know what I mean. However,
yeah,
that song will come back around to me in a different form as the Dave Matthews Band
yeah,
does, because they sang it different, played it different, did all the things. And I hear it and I go, oh my God, I'm in love with that now. But it
yeah,
has to be that
yeah.
particular version, right?
And also, I think it's your mood too, right? What mood are you in?
Hmm.
What song do you want? Because every song
Yeah.
touches you differently.
Yeah. So true.
Every song touches you differently. Some touch my heart, some touch my brain, some because I have so many thoughts, like who I heard this with, where was I when I heard it? Because I go back to the '90s, right? I've been
Yeah.
around
Yeah.
since, I'm not Johnny Come Lately, right? I've been around since probably close to the beginning, and I
Yeah.
have so many things and thoughts. In college, Dave Matthews; after college, Dave Matthews; rehab, Dave
Yes.
Matthews. Now being sober, Dave. He's always been there, Dave Matthews. You have always been there for me, bro. I love you.
He's literally the music is the soundtrack of your life. But
Yeah,
like you just said, so many different parts of your life.
yeah,
Chapter 1,
yeah,
chapter 2, chapter
yeah,
3. And they're
yeah.
all very different. But
Yep.
that's been like the one constant and the one thing that's helped you
Yeah.
through whatever you were going through
Right.
at that moment.
Right.
And I think that
Right.
that's such an incredible story. I don't think that people give music enough credit. I
Oh,
really don't. I don't think they realize the medicine that it is, because it is that. It
their
is.
their loss.
Yeah. I mean, it's a real deal. Like music therapy is a real form of therapy.
Yeah.
And so, I can't preach enough about the importance of finding whatever your music is and using it to just get your head together, get your thoughts together,
Yeah.
because it can do that. You just have to find the right song. And thank God it's been the Dave Matthews Band for us. And of course, you too. Won't forget about them. You too.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
God, if I had to
And
name my second favorite band, I don't even know. I don't even know what I would say. I don't.
it's
You
probably
nailed yours.
I would say it's probably one of your kids' favorite. You're a Taylor Swift fan.
Yeah, it's Taylor Swift. Yeah, she's right there. Yeah, you're exactly right. But it's she's amazing. I love her.
Yeah.
But also
Yeah.
I have two daughters who
Yeah.
have really like pushed that in front of me.
Sure.
And she's wonderful. She's wonderful. So
Right.
yeah, definitely. I can't afford to see Taylor Swift. I can't afford that shit.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to stick with Dave Matthews.
Yeah. So yeah, it's wild. It's really wild. Like just this journey. And I wouldn't be sitting here if it wasn't for the Dave Matthews Band. Honestly, I honestly think that, because that music helped save my life, and I'm never gonna forget that.
Wow. Wow. I mean, I cannot thank you enough for sharing that. I mean, and I know that this story is going to resonate with so many other people,
Yeah.
because you are not alone, sir. And
Right.
I hope that you know that. I know that you know that
Yeah.
you are not alone in this journey. There
Yeah.
are thousands, if not millions of people that have gone through the same struggles that you've gone through in their own different way and in their own different time. But
Right.
I know that your story, and even though it's probably not easy because, you said that from the get-go, like I get emotional when I start
Yeah.
talking about this, but you can tell this story now knowing that everything worked out for the best. And I believe that you're a better person for what you had to go through.
Actions, right? Not words.
Exactly. It
Yeah.
really is all about that. It is
Yeah.
all about that.
Yeah, yeah, and it's just like once we hang up, we'll both go on our separate ways, but we're both going to listen to Dave, right?
Hell yeah. I mean, as soon as I get in the car, boom,
Yeah,
channel
yeah,
30 is on until my daughter gets in the car at school. And then
yeah,
she's like, Mom, turn this off. And then that's the end of Dave Matthews Band
yeah,
until I say, I'm in charge, I'm driving
yeah,
the car, and I pay the
yeah,
bills. This is what's
yeah.
happening.
So I want to say this as well because you just interviewed the gentleman from the tribute band, right? I haven't seen the show.
I did. Yeah.
I seen them in the spring. Amazing, by the way,
They're so
amazing.
good.
I'm going in a couple of weeks in Beverly, Massachusetts, right?
Yes.
And I'm hoping to use this little platform and this juice to maybe get in a little introduction, maybe a little picture.
Dude, oh, of course, absolutely. Let me know where and when you're going to be. Of course, I'm great friends with the Dave Matthews Tribute Band, so it's happening. You will get your picture with them, and I'm here to say that if you haven't listened to that episode, it did actually just come out today, which is the day that I'm recording with you. But today is Friday. What is today? Today is Friday, September the something. What is it? The 6th.
Yes.
So I encourage, if you're listening to this one, go back in time and listen to the Dave Matthews Tribute Band. They really they want to know what you want to hear. So if there is a song that you want to hear, Greg,
Wow.
put it in the comments, send them a message. They want to play what you want to hear because they are there for you. They are there for you. They love doing it, but they want to make you happy. And that is that's a whole different kind of experience because when we know that when we go to see the Dave Matthews Band, like that's untouchable, that's unreachable. We're not going to get what we want, and that's fine. I'm not saying that that's a negative thing. However, it is different with the tribute band, and they really do want to make the fans happy. And so, if there's a song that you want to hear, hit them up, tell them that the Space Between podcast says hi, and I mean, there's some strings, pull them. I want you to.
Absolutely. I'm trying to use this platform to, make this story take off as far as it'll take me, right? And I want it to be a positive experience. Like I'm having fun in recovery, being sober, having life, living life. And I want that to radiate when I talk to people and meet people and smile and tell stories because that's who I am.
Yeah. And that's needed because I think when people are in a situation where they are even aware that they need help, they also realize that in order to get help, they have to be willing to put in some hard work. And I know it wasn't necessarily hard for you, but a lot of people, it is so hard. Right. But to see you on the other side of this and to see your positivity, your encouragement, that life is going really good, I think people need to see that because they need to see what could happen on the other side of this.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. Like I work my fucking ass off to be where I am today. Like every day I wake up and my goal is 1, be happy. 2, try to make someone else happy. 3, live my life to the best ability that I can. And if I can help somebody just by talking or smiling or saying hi, like that's all you need to do.
Yeah. And do you believe that you're worth it, Greg?
Oh my goodness. Like I said, I'm here for a reason. I was saved and I know why I was saved. I just need to show other people.
That's right. I mean, if you do not believe you are worth being saved, that is problem number 1. And you have to address that first. And a lot of people feel that hopelessness that, because you can get buried so deep in addiction that you actually start to believe that you aren't worth saving.
Yeah.
And that's a tough place to be.
There was days that I would lie on the couch, right? Days, holiday weekends on the couch, not showering, not brushing my teeth. My father asking what's wrong with me. Oh, I just don't feel good. I just lied just to cover my addiction. And I missed out on so much. Like beautiful sunny day outside right now, right?
Yeah.
I would pull the shades down and just lie on the couch and I didn't want to kill myself. Don't get me wrong, but I wasn't living. I wasn't happy. I was
No.
just living a lie. And thank you, God, that you saved my life and giving me a second chance, and that you give me the opportunity every day to be the best of my ability.
I love everything that, I mean, it is just so refreshing to hear you say the things that you've said, and that you have a zest for life, that
Oh,
you want to live it. Because again, so many people are just trying to get through. I'm just trying to get
yeah.
through. I'm just trying to get through.
No,
And I don't
no,
see that in you. I
no,
see
no.
every moment as an opportunity to be happy and feel your heart and feel other people's hearts and just do good in the world. And so I think you're such a great example of not only what can happen with hard work and dedication and a love for yourself and a respect for yourself, but
Yeah.
also what music has helped you get through.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm just saying this because I want to be the best at what I am, right? I want
Hmm.
to be the Tom Brady of recovery. I want to be the
Hell yeah.
best. I want to be the
Yes.
best. I want people
Yes.
to say, I know him. That guy told me a story. It helped me. I want to be that person that, my actions, not my words, what things I do for my teammates, my coworkers, my friends, my family, my actions that I do out there, like it's on the field.
Yes. Yes. No, I appreciate that so much. Again, it's just so refreshing to hear people say that, because it's not a common story. And so I
Yeah,
can't thank you enough for just being brave enough,
yeah,
because I know that this could be
yeah,
hard
yeah,
in some ways to talk about and then
sure.
revisit those hard times. But thank you so much for being brave enough for going on a platform like this and just
Yeah,
being very vulnerable, and people that you don't know are going to be listening to this.
yeah,
But again, I just believe that it is an opportunity to help
yeah,
someone along the way, and
yeah,
that is our job, is to, as
yeah,
humans, is to offer up help in any way we can. And so
yeah,
thank
yeah.
you, thank
Yeah.
you, thank you.
Hopefully on the way to being verified at some point. I want to be
Yes.
legit, right?
Yes, you are legit already. You've arrived, dude. You
Yeah.
have arrived.
It's time to let other people see me.
That's right. That's right. It's your time to shine, and I
Yeah.
believe that you are doing that right now. And
Yeah.
you're still young. You have
Yeah.
many, many years ahead,
Yeah.
God willing. And
Look at
so
me.
I know that you're
I'm
going to do great things.
I'm gonna be 51. I'm still doing my hair blonde like I'm in
Why
fucking
not?
new kids on
But
the
why
block.
not?
You know what
Why
I mean?
not?
Yeah.
Why not? Why
Yeah.
not? I mean, I'm 45. I dye my hair blonde. So, hey,
Yeah.
we're
Yeah.
doing it together,
Yeah.
okay?
It's all about self-care, right? Self-care.
That's right.
Self-care.
Yeah, it is so important, and people forget about that. We feel like, what is it? People are often say that you're selfish when you
Yeah.
do things for yourself.
Yeah.
No, no.
Yeah.
Sometimes yes, but so there are levels that could be selfish. But it is important to take care of you, because I tell this and I preach this as a nurse all the time.
Yep.
If you do not take care of yourself,
Yep.
you cannot take care of other people.
Well
You have
said.
to be full. You have to be full before you can pour into other people. So you
Well
have
said.
to remember to feed yourself. And that is not just food, that is making yourself happy. Go to
Yeah.
concerts, do these things
Yeah.
for yourself, whatever it
Yeah.
takes to fill your heart, so that in turn you can then feel others. And so just remember
Yeah.
that as you're going along. Remember to feel yourself, and don't feel bad about it. Don't feel
Yeah.
bad about it.
Yeah. No, well said. Well said. I mean, everything that we've talked, it's like we've talked before, right? We've had communications before, but that's how we roll, right? I
That's
mean,
right.
you do your thing, I'm doing my thing. We come together, we make shit happen.
That's right. That's right. That's right. And I'm so glad. We've been talking for a while now. I don't know,
Yeah.
weeks, months, something. I don't
Yeah.
know. And
Yeah.
I was so excited to get you on the show.
Yeah.
And you know what? I'm even more excited now that it's almost done, because I get to share this with so many. And again,
Yeah.
I'm so thankful to you for
Yeah.
opening up about this, because I know it's going to change some lives. It's going to change some hearts. And even for those that may never go through an experience like this, you never know when you are going to be beside someone that
Right.
is going through an experience like this.
Right.
So it's good to
Right.
talk about. It's one of those things that should be talked about. You
Right.
should be aware of these things. And
Hmm.
just even, people that have children, and you haven't had these conversations with them yet about the dangers of
Right.
taking things from other people. There are so many conversations that have to be had with
Right.
your children, with your family, with your
Right.
friends, because things
Right.
are dangerous out there, and people are dying
Right.
because they're not taught that
Right.
things are dangerous.
Right.
So
Right.
thank you
Things have to
for,
change. Things
they
have to
do.
change.
They do. They
Yeah.
do. And education is key. So I
Yeah.
believe in people being educated about
Yeah.
things and staying up to date because it's always changing in the world of medicine, in the world of drugs. Things are
Right.
constantly,
Right.
constantly
Right.
changing. So it's
Right.
important to keep
Right.
yourself updated on all of that.
So I will say this: I am on the Vivitrol shot. So someone who has an opiate addiction, I don't know, obviously Vivitrol, they give it to also alcoholics, right? For
I have
me,
not heard of that one.
so Vivitrol, it's not a drug. All it is, I get a shot once in my
Uh-huh.
ass a month. It's
Uh-huh.
a blocker. So even if I wanted to take pills, they wouldn't work because it's blocking
Oh,
them to getting to your receptors in your brain. So
wow.
it's a miracle. It's not a drug. There's no withdrawal. And I can only say what works for me. I'm not
Right,
promoting.
right,
I'm
right.
just saying what works for me. The Vivitrol shot, one shot a month. It's a fail safe, right? It's like a placebo. Not that I even think about use. It's just there just in case, right? So why not
Yes.
take advantage of every tool we're given if it's going to help you in your
Yes.
recovery?
That's right. That's right. That's amazing. I have not heard of that. I'm going to have to definitely look into that because,
Yeah.
that's amazing. There and
Yeah.
science and time
Yeah.
with all the technology we have, there are
Right.
always things coming out that are so
Right.
helpful. And so, what a great time to be alive. Honestly,
Yeah.
what a great time to be alive.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Well, I can't thank you enough for being on the show, guys. If you are listening to this right now on a podcast app, just know that you can watch this whole story on YouTube, just simply under the space between podcasts. There are literally almost 130 episodes now, and each one is just like this, where someone comes on the show to talk about their personal journey with the Dave Matthews Band. There are stories about hope. There are stories about love. There are stories
Yeah.
about death. There are stories
Yeah.
about life. And
Yeah.
so, whatever you're looking for, if you
Yeah.
don't find the right episode, click to the next one because they're all very different, but they're all very personal. And so,
Yeah.
I invite you to check out any of the episodes that we have in our vault now. And if you're interested in sharing your journey with the Dave Matthews Band, definitely reach out to me. And I would love to have you on the show to continue this because here's what I'm doing. Greg, I don't even know if you know this. Do you know what I'm doing with all of these stories?
Actually, no, I don't. I'd love to hear it.
Ooh, okay. So here's what's happening, guys. So I have made the decision to continue doing this podcast until the band has officially given us the "we're done" sign, whatever that looks like, whatever that looks like.
Long
So when
time.
they
Long time.
retire as a band as a whole, we know that Dave and Tim may and everybody may go do off there and do their own things or whatever.
Yeah.
But when the band, as we know, quits, retires, whatever we want to call it, I will be taking all of the episodes that I have collected, and hopefully I'll have years to do this still, but you never know. I'll be taking all of these stories to create a documentary, a love story, if you will, from the fans to the music and the impact that it has had on so many people, because it is so important that this time and this story be documented for
Yeah.
future generations.
Yeah.
Because one day the Dave Matthews Band will not be a thing on this earth, but there will always be, I want there to be a record of the impact that it made to thousands of people. And so that is what I'm doing. So, Greg, you're now part of that story. You're now part of that.
Mind
Yeah.
blowing. Mind
Yeah.
blowing.
Yeah. It really is. It really
Yeah.
is. This whole thing is just, it's just mind blowing, and it's just medicine for me. Every time I hear these stories, I'm like,
Yeah.
I fall even more in love with the Dave Matthews Band. And I didn't think that that was possible. I really didn't. I was like, I'm all in. I'm level 10,
Yeah.
whatever the level is. And
Yeah.
now it's just like, oh shit, I keep going deeper into this love, and it feels really good. It feels really
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. So I'm hoping, right, to score those pit tickets, right, down at Mohegan or at MSG. So,
I hope you do.
Yeah.
I hope you do. I hope you do, dude. I want you to have all of the happiness that is, going to come to you, and celebrate. We will, right?
Yeah.
Celebrate. We will.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I really appreciate you giving me the opportunity to come on and share and laugh and smile and talk Dave and talk Tom and talk, you name it, talk turkey. We're talking turkey today.
We
And
talked about a lot of things, but it was
yeah.
so much fun, right?
Yeah. And I hope that I get to meet you in person someday and I can give you a hug and thank you for giving me this platform and to be able to spread my story. And hopefully, it picks up from here and hopefully someday I can help you like you helped me.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Again, there are no words sometimes, but all I can say is thank you so much for being willing to do this.
Thank you. Thank you, Dave Matthews. Thank you, Dave Matthews Band. I love you guys.
So, guys, again, if you're listening to this on a podcast app, just know, be sure to check out the YouTube channel. And even if YouTube's not your thing, here's what I need from you. I need for you to subscribe and like to that channel because that helps me. Look, Greg, you're getting balloons now. How the hell is this happening? There's things happening
right now?
What is happening right now? I don't even know. It's so great. Like, Greg is the first person on the show almost 130 episodes in, and he's got balloons and fireworks and shit going on in the background. So again, even more reasons to check out the YouTube channel because Greg is dancing right now. You got to see his dance moves. You got to see his hair. We got to see all of this. So be sure to check out the YouTube side of it. Again, if social media is your thing, check out the Space Between Podcast. There's a page on Facebook, just simply the Space Between Podcast. On Instagram, it's under the Space Between _POD. And then TikTok, the Space Between Podcast. Easy peasy to find it all. Well, Greg, thank you so much for being on the show, guys. Until next time, peace, love, and Dave Matthews Band.
Peace. Space between the tears we